Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's me, Dave, and we're back here on Gen X Unchained with my co host, Smokin. What's up, bud?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Man, it's been a long week.
Oh my god, I can't hear you, bro. So,
You
let
can't
me
hear
open
me.
it up. Be right back.
So he's on his side. I don't know what's wrong with him. Well, he should be back, like, right now. Yeah, there. No, 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 no.
Yep, I hear you now.
You hear me?
Yeah, I could hear
Uh,
you
I'm, I'm,
clearly now.
I'm glad,
All right. So, what's up, Morgan?
Dave.
How are you doing?
It's been a long week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Very long week.
But you got some good news this week.
Yes, yes, I did get good news this week. Yes,
Could
I do.
you put it out?
You want me to talk about it?
I mean, if you want, I ain't gonna make you talk about whatever you don't want to talk about.
Well, I'm just saying. We could talk about it, yes. I've been informed by my current manager that he is stepping down and I'm going to take over the store as manager. Work Monday through Fridays, 9 to 5 instead of closing time. And that way I could come home and cook dinner and,
Take
you
care
know,
of your wife,
take care of my wife like I should and,
like you've been trying to.
right, and pick up extra nights on the podcast, which is
Hey,
something we've been working on trying to do.
yes,
Like, pop on a Wednesday and do a music video review, and then that's it. And then maybe pop on again on a Saturday night,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
me
That
just that.
had. I like random times. Not really, but I mean, it happens. Keeps
But
life interesting.
it'll be a lot better. No weekends unless I'm
Yeah.
covering somebody's shift.
So did you look at any of the news I sent you?
Dude, I've been ignoring my phone, bro, to be honest with you. And I mean, I just check it to get rid of the little blimps up the top of the screen. Like, you got notifications. Don't care.
Well, apparently, maybe, possibly. I don't know for sure, but it sounds funny. Um, One of China's ships got put in the ocean today,
Oh, yeah.
or a week ago, or something like that. Within the
Really?
past week. Yeah. And it didn't go so well.
What do you mean? Did it sink?
Yep. Hmm.
Whoopsie.
Too soon! Too soon!
Uh,
I thought it was interesting.
that's kind of funny, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
I sent you a screen record of it, a little video. And so, I mean, you can watch it for yourself and get a little laugh out of it.
that's funny. Um, we are going to start talking about why we started this show and give our audience a little background on why we're doing what we're doing.
Well,
So,
I'm doing it because I got your back. And I mean, I'm gonna try and help you as much as I can because hey, I got the time,
Right,
and that's all this is a time taker.
right. Hey, just so you know, Moken, over on the uh, game room,
Yeah.
you could turn Rumble off and turn Twitch on. It's
Okay.
linked to the Gen X Unchained Twitch account. So when you go live on your game, it's also showing on Twitch.
Awesome. I have
So
that in a couple days or something.
yeah, and when we do game talk, like with Brad Sims or with any news on PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever PC games that they're talking about, and news and stuff we're going to bring out to the world, that's the channel we're going to go to. We're going to switch Rumble off and turn Twitch on. And that way we could stream to those to YouTube and Twitch. And that way we're reaching a deeper audience when it comes to gaming,
Right.
you know, just a
But
little
the
more.
actual gaming audience, I
Yeah, the
get
actual
it.
gaming audience, you know what I'm saying? So it would definitely help. Uh, but hey, for those of you out there that's just now cutting in here, I'm Dave. That's Smoking the Bull. This is Gen X Unchained. Welcome to our show. Anywho, ski.
So why did we start the show?
I started this show because I wanted to leave something behind for my grandchildren to go back and sit there and say, "Hey, look at goofy ass grandpa making a fool of himself with no viewers and no subs." And now we're at 90 subs.
Wow. 90 subs.
90
Nice.
subs. So that is a lot better than it was a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So we're up to 90 subs, and I'm doing a lot of lives when I'm at work, you know, which is also helping out. And we're getting plenty of exposure there. Did you
Yeah.
see the new clips that I made?
I did. And we should be getting another sub soon, maybe.
Well, do
Um,
those, the clips with Patty?
no, I didn't see them.
Yeah, those are in shorts. You need to go check those out. That
I'm
was
sure
a
they'll come
freebie.
through my feed.
That was a freebie given to us by Restream. So I just did that real quick. So and
Right on.
now I know how to operate it when I get ready to pay for a couple months of it.
Right.
So there's that, Jack.
There's that, Jack.
Anywho, ski. And the second reason why I started the podcast was not only so we could, me and you could get on here and BS around and talk a bunch of crap, make a bunch of people mad.
Which
Uh,
I enjoy doing that too.
Not really, people. We're not here to make you mad. We're just talking trash, just doing our normal do moments. You know what I'm saying? So we're not we're not for everybody, but we're for some. So I'm Dave. That's Smoking the Bull. This is Gen X Unchained. Welcome to the show, everybody. Uh, as we continue on, but the second reason why I started the podcast was over the years I've watched people get on YouTube and Twitch and other things, and if they did it right, they made a lot of money. Well, I wasn't in it for the lot of money. I could care less about a lot of money. Okay, I
Yeah,
did it maybe I could make something out of it, and continue to grow, and then maybe I'll get blessed down the road with considering what's going on with my wife. But that's another story for another day. Um, Outside of that, it was mainly just to have something to do other than
Like a
play video
flipper.
game all the time, and a good way to hang out with you on another level. And I figured if we're
Right.
going to do this, we might as well make it a podcast, and we might as well leave something behind for grandchildren to see down the road and be like, look at grandpa being a fool.
Yep. Well,
So,
mine watches over me all the time.
but
Um,
outside of that, yeah, I figured, maybe I could make some money at it because I will be, when things turn around, I will be doing more 3D print videos. I'll be doing a lot of different stuff. Um, Tonight, I'm going to be 3D printing a name tag bucket for a slat wall at work to hold some product in the slat wall and be able to put the price tag in there. So I'm going to be printing one of those tonight. Probably going to take a few clips of it and post it and on shorts and stuff. So be looking out for that. Um, and another thing is too. What the hell? That
you got
that
thunder?
no, that damn curtain over the window of the front door, man. It was making shadows move in the corner of my eye, and made me think somebody was standing behind me. So I was like, "What the hell?" Like it's a ghost. Oh, anywho, anyway, uh, where was I?
And second reason?
Oh, for starting a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Try to make some money out of it. Not get rich, but pod. I could
Oh,
sell a
20
3D.
bucks is 20 bucks, right?
Well, if you want a $20 dragon is what you get.
I mean,
You want a nice size dragon and a nice size dragon egg that you could just twist and open and use the dragon egg for storage or whatever outside of holding the dragon in it, that's 40, $50, man. That's a lot of material, a lot of time at printing out,
yeah.
you know. I'm not saying it's going to be expensive, but it ain't going to be cheap either. I'm also working on some stuff to start making us some merch,
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to be working on some t-shirt ideas. I'm working on some hat ideas. Um,
Leave
and
Cubs out of it.
shut the hell up. Don't tell me what to do. Okay, backseat driver over here talking trash. But yeah, we're gonna work on a lot of stuff. It's gonna take a few months before we could even officially launch anything as far as
Right.
t-shirts and all that stuff goes. So, um, t-shirts, coffee mugs, hats. You know, I
Yep.
might I might do a few giveaways with that style of merch too. So I'm still waiting on the signed books from Patty. Uh, she's gonna supposed to be getting them or at least having them shipped to the house this Friday, and then I should have them by next week, and then I'll order some cool colors and filaments. And what I'll do is I'll print out some dragons and print out some dragon eggs, and I'll do a giveaway with the books with the signed copies.
Right
You
on.
know, so
Hey.
we'll see how all that goes. That's just all works in progress. It's the future we got to look forward to. So there's that. Now moving on to other news, ladies and gentlemen, I got a 24-hour old TDR report. Moken, you want to cue that up?
In the new scene?
Yep.
Hey everyone, welcome into our weekly recap of the biggest developments here in the cannabis space for the week of June 30th. I am your host, Shad Dills, as we welcome you into the Trade to Black podcast. And right now, things are heating up, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So far, it's just talk. What we need now is real material change and actual pen to paper when it comes to cannabis reform. Until then, don't pop the champagne, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and keep your head on a swivel. This week, the cannabis sector caught a bid driven by reform rumors and growing pressure from some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. So, could this finally be the turning point for cannabis investments, and really from the standpoint as to where we are right now? So with that, let's get into it. First, let's begin in a heavyweight political move. A new coalition of pro athletes and entertainers led by Mike Tyson is urging Donald Trump to finish what he started on cannabis reform. We're talking big names that include Kevin Durant, Allen Iverson, Ricky Williams, Wyclef Jean, Des Bryant, and more. And the message to Trump: reschedule cannabis, expand pardons, and fix the financial discrimination holding this industry back. They praised Trump's past clemency work, like the pardon of Weldon Angelos, and said this could be his most impactful move yet. The ask: move cannabis from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 and deliver mass clemency for non-violent marijuana prisoners. In their letter, they called Biden's inaction a betrayal and spotlighted the economic chokehold. No banking, 280E tax burdens, and being locked out of U.S. exchanges while foreign cannabis companies trade on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. So will Trump listen? If he does, he could corner the cannabis vote and leave Biden reeling. Let's move now to Florida, where Governor Ron DeSantis signed a new law that gives the state the power to suspend your medical cannabis card if you're charged, not convicted, just charged with a state drug crime. If you're later convicted or plead guilty, your registration gets revoked. To reapply, you'll need to complete your sentence and submit a notarized attestation. The final bill was narrowed from earlier drafts, but there's still ambiguity around retroactive enforcement. Patients with old convictions might want to keep a close eye on this.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
What kind of drug crimes are they talking about? You lose your medical cannabis card if you get charged with a drug crime from a different drug? Is that what they're saying?
Or even cannabis. I'm thinking it's all of them. But I mean, they're coming out with trying to legalize psilocybin too.
That's crazy.
And I mean, honestly, if you want to,
Yeah, you could close that out.
that's psilocybin ain't nothing to play with though.
Yeah, but listen, Allen
It ain't
Iverson,
nothing like marijuana though.
Allen Iverson, Allen Iverson, Kevin Durant, all those basketball players, Mike Tyson, people I thought would never go to Trump about that, all went to Trump and is begging him to do what Joe Biden failed to do. And
Right.
then
Like
take marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3.
yeah.
You know,
And I bet if he does something with rescheduling, he
take
would
it to our
get
podcast stage.
he would get the young vote.
The job
Republicans,
market would flourish
well, not only that, but the Republicans would keep getting votes.
and the
The
banks
young vote.
start making money again.
The young vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
People under 25 or 25 or 30, whatever
Listen,
it is.
check this out. If Donald Trump did a rescheduling of marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, he would encapsulate the United States, young voters, black and Hispanic, 3 times fold would get behind him, because that would be equivalent to Richard Nixon allowing the age to vote drop from 21 to 18.
Yeah, but I think it should go up.
Well, I think it should have stayed 15 or 21. You know what I'm
I
saying? It
think
should have stayed till 21. And it also should have been, it also, I believe this to the fullest, it also should have been 21 before you could join the military.
well, yeah,
Blank.
yeah,
And there should have never been a draft in Vietnam.
and you ain't considered an adult,
There should
an
have
adult
never
until
been a
you're
draft in
21.
World War II, Korean War, Kosovo.
Like honestly,
But I'm just saying that would encapsulate that.
yeah,
It would make his numbers would grow through the roof. And that would open the job market if he regulated banks to be able to allow dispensaries to bank with them because
right.
of federal deregulation. That means the banks could start turning in money that would build the growth in the job market on many different levels, from science to botanists to uh, builders, lighting, electricians, plumbers, all the way around. That it wouldn't just hit one industry.
No, it won't.
That would domino effect, because if you want a new building, who are you going to call? Construction workers. If you want electricity in that building, who are you going to call?
Electrician.
Electricians. If you want plumbing in that building, who are you going to call?
And then tell me if I'm right or wrong. Okay. If they move it to Schedule 3, can they test for it?
I think it'll be up to the jobs. And I think
Okay.
it's following certain federal guidelines far as DOT is concerned.
Yeah, while
I think they'll keep,
operating motor vehicle.
yeah, I think they'll keep marijuana on the no list when it comes
Well,
to over the road
okay.
trucking or in town trucking or um,
Well,
any of
see,
these type of delivery jobs that's across country or across state. I think they're gonna, still keep that on their books, and I think it's gonna be up to the job.
and honestly, I think they should, with the new developments coming out for the cops. Have you heard?
No,
Um, well, they're trying to come out with a breathalyzer to
yeah.
tell you if you've smoked within the hour.
Here, you can test mine, buddy. Here, I don't give a shit because you know what? I didn't smoke. I'm not telling you no lie, but that doesn't mean I didn't eat a couple of gummies.
Yeah, well, they're
Well,
testing
why your eyes?
THC.
Well, why is your eyes so bloodshot? I just worked a 12-hour shift. You dumb, 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 dumb. That's why I'm tired. Got a disabled wife. I don't sleep well at nights. You want my life? I'll be glad to sit in a squad car and be a cop and eat a donut.
and
Okay,
get the pay that you get. I
and get
mean,
the pay that you get and the benefits that come with it.
right?
You know
Sorry, not sorry.
exactly. So no matter if they come out with a breathalyzer test or a mouth swab or whatever it is that they're going to try to do to try to bust people from smoking marijuana, you have to be pretty fucking slick to try to come up with something, which they have come up with a few things. But you
They
got to be
have.
pretty slick, bro, to sit there and you know what gets people busted?
What gets people busted?
I'm going to throw this out there and people are going to hate me and I don't care. You drive erratic. You don't use your turn signals. You don't wear your seatbelt. You're leaned halfway back in your halfway back to the back seat. You got tinted windows. Again, you didn't turn your headlights on when it got dark. Just because your dashboard lights up and the nighttime when it gets dark doesn't mean your freaking headlights are on, people.
and I mean, they're trained for that seatbelt, man.
Yeah. Zap, zap. Seatbelt. Nope. Hasta la vista.
And yeah, and then the cars, whenever they come out with new cars, they're gonna have seatbelt. If you ain't got your seatbelt on, they're gonna alert the cops, and you're gonna get a ticket. They
There's
ain't
these
even gonna
new
catch you.
vehicles. Yeah. There is these new vehicles out here that has sensors in them that will record you from your mirror and it will recognize if you don't have your seatbelt on. It will record it and send that information off to the police department. Can we say invasion of privacy?
Man, right? I mean,
That's like the
wow.
DEA having a camera in my bathroom watching me wipe my ass. I want to
Yes.
take this moment. I want to take this moment and give thank you to all the people that have supported us on Unchained Down the Rabbit Hole.
Oh yes. Yes.
Uh,
I've
Salty,
been going in there.
uh, Salty Badger and Sick Bastard and Angel Face and everyone else
Yes.
that has
Thank
subscribed
you.
to our channel to help us grow and has accepted us. Even though we don't ride motorcycles, guys, we love motorcycles and
Oh
we love
yeah.
it. So, uh, and a lot more. Everybody that was in there the other night,
Yeah.
I want to say his name's Moto Bum or something like that. Always see him in our live like the other night,
Yeah.
Friday, or Saturday. But thank you guys, appreciate you. Uh, that's my shout out to all of them. So
All
other
them
than
new subscribers.
all you guys, yeah, some of them are brand new subscribers, bro.
Yeah.
I don't, for those of you watching, I do have comments brought up if you want to send comments. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Love you. Uh, other than that,
Again,
bro,
thanks for the
bro,
support.
yeah, and that goes out to everybody. You know who you are. This week on Gen X Unchained. Anywho,
What's up?
so
What's
what
up?
else do we got, bud?
Man, I don't know. There
I don't really want to dabble down the damn politicking.
I mean,
I don't want to politicking.
but so much has happened.
Yeah, the big beautiful bill passed. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Bring it. Um,
Like that was signed.
Eliminate waste and fraud. Bring it.
Signed.
Yep. So, I mean,
So I got a question for you. Is that immediate?
I don't know. I don't know if that was immediate or not.
Or
No.
is it
So
taking time to kick in?
I don't know. The federal government has their mandate. The people voted. You know, we got funding for the border wall. That's going to finish the wall off. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? We got new deals
And,
to,
and,
and we cut
and
back some regulations for energy. So that means we're going to
no, wait a
drill,
minute.
drill.
Last time he was in office, he was paying for the wall to be put up, right?
Yeah. He got funding, $400 billion.
Okay, and that was through the government, right?
Yeah, that was portions of the wall from California all through Texas.
And that was adding to the deficit, correct?
No, no,
All right, so whenever they say that this is adding $3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years, that's
no,
over 10 years.
10 trillion.
Oh, I
No,
heard
it's
3
10
point
trillion over 10 years. But
something.
what they fail to realize is that with the new incentives to uh, build here, employ here, and be here,
Right.
incentives that are going on, more jobs are popping up. Okay. That's going to generate revenue. What's revenue do? Generate taxes. Who's the taxes coming from? The companies. So by the time that 10 years is up for $10 trillion, that's $1 trillion a year. They're going to make back about $6.9 trillion over 10 years, which is going to cut that $10 trillion deficit down to mere nothing. And while all that is going on, the budget is still being trimmed down because they set in place stuff like Doge, outside investments coming in to pay more tariffs, okay, which is great. The only thing,
Disability lawyers getting investigated.
and here's another thing too, ladies and gentlemen, what you guys are not realizing is this right here. If you are on Medicare, Medicaid, disability, Social Security, food stamps, and you are legitly on there for a legit reason, you are not going to get cut in funding.
Right,
You're not going to lose your Medicare, Medicaid.
right.
You're not going to lose your public health and public aid and food stamps or be deducted. That's not going to happen.
But if you have a job and you're able to work
If
doing
you're
what you
able to
do,
work, if you're able body, that's who's getting booted off. Like these 25-year-old out here with 3 or 4 children that just don't want to go out and get a job. They're just collecting child support and uh, health benefits to not have to work.
yeah,
Okay, people like that.
right.
You could go to work. You have nothing physically wrong with you. You're the ones getting cut off.
And if you need that help, if you're working and you need that help, I think that there is something out there for them, right? For a limited time or whatever
Well,
per
there is
year.
temporary jobs. There is
No. I'm talking about for like food stamps. If somebody is in need and they need help,
right
there is a program for that with food stamps that you can get on every
for
year
a
or
temporary
something.
basis.
Right.
It's only and really, to tell you the truth, the way they set it up, way the Democrats set up food stamps and this and Medicaid was supposed to be set up as a temporary thing until you got back on your feet. It was never meant to be a lifelong thing, but they made it that years later because they knew if they said, "Hey, we're the government, we're here to help," and the people
Well,
followed it like sheep.
no, it was the older people that were losing it and needing it.
When
So it was later put through that anybody that is on disability or elderly and disabled on SSI and under the umbrella that they could therefore uh, keep their assistance. And he went away. There he is. So, I mean, it is what it is. It, if they,
All
if
I'm
they,
saying is this right here.
if you're working, you should be able to get that.
If you're somebody like my wife or like Moken or like his old lady or somebody that physically cannot work, your body just won't let you. Okay. And you're bipolar. Okay. If you physically cannot be trusted to work and your body won't let you, you're not getting kicked off.
I mean, in all actuality, if I went to work for somebody and my leg gives out, which it's been known to do, you've seen it, you know,
Yep.
it happens.
Yep.
Um, I fall at work,
You're done.
and yeah, I'm down for 2 weeks if that happens. I mean, it happens.
But all I'm saying is this right here.
That would be a liability on the company, though.
Yeah, but this is all I'm saying. Okay. They're kicking the 17 million people that are illegally here and the people who are willing and able bodied to work. Nothing wrong with them. You know, you could collect your child support, but guess what? You got to get a job. So find a babysitter. Force your baby daddies to do their job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or hey, keep them in their life.
That's all I'm saying. Get a damn
Find a
job.
good one. Stay
There
with
is
them.
there is people all over this country that have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children, and they both still go get a job, and they both work, and they both pay for everything.
I
Okay,
don't know none personally, but I'm sure there is.
18 kids and counting.
God damn.
Okay, that's all I'm saying, guys. That's all that's being done.
18?
18 kids and counting. It's a TV show from Utah, bro.
When do they have time to work?
I don't know, but he goes. The father goes to work. I forget what the mother does, and all the other kids are fucked up in the head because I think one of them is in prison now for being a pedo.
Well, duh.
I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying,
Oh,
you know,
man.
that's just what was in.
Allegedly, huh?
Yeah, that's what was in the news. I think he did get charged.
Man.
So I think he did get charged. The Dugars, whatever their name is from the TV show, 18 Kids and Counting.
Never, I don't watch TV.
I just seen commercials about the 19 Kids and Counting. My fault. Let me get it right. Dur, dur, dur.
Obviously, you don't watch TV either.
Exactly. Josh Duggar was the one that was found. No. Let me see. Yep, he's a convicted sex offender.
Man.
Yep.
That's no good, dude. No good.
He should meet the wood chipper.
And JD Delay. That dude's awesome. Well, anything else in the
So
news?
what? So what about, dude? What about they working on a bill to make sure that sex of sex
Let's
offenders,
say
bro, and child
yeah.
rapists. They're trying to make a law where you get life with no parole. Yeah,
Nah, that still don't work for me.
that works for me. To tell you the truth, I think they should just be hung right after they're found guilty by their own DNA.
Now that works for me. As long as they are not a what do they call it whenever it costs the taxpayers money?
Bro, it would only cost the taxpayers what it costs for every foot of rope. You only need about 25 foot.
Not if they get life in prison.
No, dude, they should skip all that, save the taxpayers millions
That's
of
why
dollars
I'm.
in
That's
housing.
what I'm saying. That's that's what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
not good with them giving. I'm good with them giving life. Okay,
All
let's
I'm
put
saying
that out
is
there.
your DNA
Okay,
is on
but
some poor soul. If your DNA is on some poor soul that you sexually took advantage of and you're found guilty beyond reasonable doubt, you should be taken out back, put on a rope, and instantly taken care of.
uh, I mean, there's other ways you can do it too, and cheaper ways.
Line up 13 officers to give them a bullet, but only one of the guns has a real bullet.
I mean, nobody will never know.
Yep, nobody will know. The officers won't even know who had the bullet.
The only person that will know, which
Nobody would know, bro.
nobody would know, but the only person that would know is the person that loaded all the guns with the one.
Not if he mixed them all up after he did that, so he wouldn't know. Or
I
walked
mean,
out when somebody else mixed the guns up. I
yeah,
mean, look, there's other ways to
there's
save
ways.
taxpayers millions of
There's
dollars.
ways. There is ways.
One of them is not housing pedos for
Right,
life without parole. That's not one of
right.
them. Yeah. So,
And let me just say this: I'm okay with them, getting life, but honestly, they should be taken care of ASAP and not be a burden on the taxpayer.
yeah, you get found guilty beyond reasonable doubt, DNA and everything. Okay. There's no getting out of it. All right. Beyond reasonable doubt. There should be no questions asked, no appeals. There's no appeal wait time. There's no burden on taxpayer dollars. And boom, done. Gone. Instantly. You save the taxpayers in medical costs. You save the taxpayers in feeding. You'd save the taxpayers millions of dollars in housing, electricity, payroll.
Yeah,
You could actually take some of that money that you were going to spend on somebody and actually put AC in the prisons. I mean, I don't mind being harsh with harsh prison sentences, but I do believe that some of these older prisons either need to be an upgrade or they need to be a rebuild or a new build and move them all over and transfer them over.
I mean, or
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, honestly,
It's
if
okay
they
to treat prisoners and give them a life sentence. Let's say it's bank robbery. Okay. Let's say you get 25 years. All right. That's a life sentence. Okay. I'm okay with you sitting them in a harsh federal prison, but I'm not okay with is you sitting there not having adequate air conditioning or
right,
heating in the winter, and these fuckers have to suffer. You know,
but
if we're gonna do it, we need to
I
do it
mean,
right.
are you
So
trying to give them a cushy life?
no, I'm not trying to give them a cushy life, but I'm also not sitting there trying to be inhumane about people who did something like bank robbery or tax evasion or manipulating the stock market. You know what I mean?
Those are
You get somebody
okay.
for fucking murder and rape, drop them off in alligator Alcatraz for all I give a shit. Okay,
Okay,
so I don't care. You know what I'm
the
saying?
alligator food.
Yeah, let the gators sort them out. All I'm saying is this right here: you're able-bodied to work, go to work. If you're a pedo, you shouldn't be free ever.
No,
All right, bottom line. That may piss off some people, but
I'm good with that.
what can I say? And nobody should serve death row 25 years. If you're on death row and you exhausted your appeals, to prove that you're
Done.
innocent for murder, once your last appeal is exhausted, you should go straight to the gas chamber, whatever,
Yep.
and be taken off. The less money we spend as taxpayers, we could cut back at the prisons. You know what I'm saying? Maybe give them a
Or
little better
or
food because we're not housing
even
somebody for 35 years, 40 years before they
or
go in.
even just keep it the same. If we're not housing these people that have done all this and are, do have life sentences, no possibility of parole, no possibility of getting out,
Hmm.
done, exhausted everything, guilty. Why are they still walking around? And we're that's money
Okay,
being
so this is
put
this
on
is
that
what
person.
I'm gonna sit here and run this to you and let you know what happened during the change in prisons. Okay, a long time ago, they used to have a speedy execution. If you got found guilty back in the day, you were gonna go sit on death row for a couple of months, and you were gonna
Clarify back in the day.
uh late 1800s all the way up to the 1940s, 1950s before they started making changes in the prisons.
Okay. Because I didn't remember any of that.
No, you won't, but you could read about it and you could study it. You went to take the movie The Green Mile.
Hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Them guys didn't sit in there very long. Once they got found guilty beyond reasonable doubt, uh, your number was going to be pulled within a few months. You didn't sit there very long.
Right.
You didn't have the freedom to go walk the yard. You didn't have the freedom to go to chow hall. You can look it up, man. I'm not lying. It's completely true.
I,
Now,
yeah.
prisons like Shawshank, remember that movie? Great
Yeah.
fucking movie.
Shawshank Redemption. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Great fucking movie. Right? Now, prisons like that, where he was roaming around as a convicted murderer for double murder, when he didn't even do it. He was actually innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, that would have never have happened back then. Okay. Maybe in a couple of prisons, maybe, but really there wasn't no freedom like that.
No.
That's all a farce. So,
No.
but yeah, did they escape from Alcatraz? You damn right they did. Did they make it? You goddamn right they made it. They went down to Tijuana and lived the best life they ever had. And then right before they died, they sent letters off to the FBI, and the FBI disbanded the letters like it was nothing.
Yep.
Same with what's his name, uh, DB Cooper.
Yeah.
That dude died living the rest of his life in Canada on his ranch. Okay, you know who found his old parachute, bro? It was in a hay box in the barn, and I think his daughter found it.
But
And it had the serial numbers on it, and the serial numbers matched the serial numbers to the parachute that was given to DB Cooper. He stole that money, jumped off the plane, and I think where they say he jumped off at was wrong. I think he jumped off way before they say he did.
yep.
You know what I mean? Uh, he went to Canada and lived the rest of his life with the money he stole to buy the ranch. You know,
I mean, people do crazy things.
you think I'm going to believe anything the FBI has to say? No, fuck no.
No.
Hell no. So, but anyway, we got good things coming.
Yeah, we also got some scary things coming.
Like what?
Oh, the wonderful governor we have. He's running for a third term. Yeah.
What? He ain't going to get voted back in, bro.
You don't think?
No, because
You
that Italian,
you think?
that Italian, listen, there's an Italian guy. I think he's from East St. Louis or something. And that's in here in Illinois on our side of the river.
That's the east of St. Louis, yeah, East St. Louis.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's running as a Republican.
Ain't that Dupo area?
I don't know. Collinsville, Edwardsville, all that area.
Dupo, all that, yeah,
Grant City, Pontoon
yeah.
Beach, all that shit. Yeah. Yeah.
That's around my area.
Yep. Yep. Well, all I'm going to say is this to you right now. Okay. Uh, he is running against Pritzker. He is pro Second Amendment. He is pro First Amendment. He is his first order of business. What he wants to do when he gets in is cut off all those freaking taxes. He just
Oh, okay, that's all fine. But then you have people running like a person in New York City.
who wants the
So
government? Who wants the government grocery stores?
yes,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
communism. That's communism.
communism,
He wants to repossess.
self-proclaimed.
He wants to repossess people's grocery stores. Talking about so-called corporate warlord grocery
And he's
stores,
not hiding it.
and he's not hiding it. The big bad corporate wolf going to
If
take
that
grocery
comes to
stores.
the U.S., we're
He's
that
not getting elected, bro. And
dude.
if he does, I'll be surprised. But he's only going to go for mayor. He's got to. He can't do a bunch without going through the governor. The governor is going to have his back. What if, what's her name, Kathy Holcomb, gets
Hopefully.
voted out?
Then
You
he's
understand?
going to have a problem on his hands.
What if she gets
If
voted out and a
be,
new
because I
Republican?
have seen, I watch a lot of videos and a lot of street, interviews, and uh, I have seen a lot of people
Right.
say they were going to vote for him because of the government shops, government grocery
Grocery
stores.
stores where they're going to be. So, okay. So I'm going to say this right here. Government grocery stores is going to allow people to sell you genetically modified meat, fruits, and vegetables. And if that's what you want to eat, go right ahead. I'm not doing it.
No,
Sorry.
I don't think it belongs here in the U.S.
No, and it don't. What is this? This ain't Abu Dhabi.
He,
This ain't
he's from
yeah.
he's from Pakistan. He's
This ain't
from oh Palestine.
hello, quick shoe. How are you? Getting ready to
What's up,
leave
Quick Shoe?
tomorrow. Day ride, Tazewell, Virginia. All
Oh
right.
wow,
Well, hey, you be safe.
be safe out there.
Be safe on your ride. Uh, don't cause too much trouble out there, having too much fun. Um, but yeah, just be safe, man.
Be safe,
Watch out for
definitely
soft
be
bags and
safe.
hard bags; they might fall off. You know. Hopefully, if you're riding in a pack, you know what to do. Already know the routine.
And then I
You
mean,
know it, bud.
it,
You know it.
you have people like that running, and then you got good people that are pro Second Amendment, like the one that you said was running for Illinois.
Yep.
There's also a woman from uh, I guess I don't exactly know where
Gloria.
she's from. What is she from, Peoria?
I'm just guessing.
I mean,
I was
she's
maybe trying
running
to
as a
trick.
Republican.
Oh, she is.
Um, going door to door, knocking on doors, promoting herself because she ain't got deep pockets.
Right.
She was on one of the Illinois in focus. Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I watched that. I watched
yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
So there's her. She's running as Republican.
Well, I'm just gonna say this right now. With the way Chicago's acting to go flipping red, I don't see a lot of people retaining their seats in the House and the Senate of Illinois. And I don't see J.B. Pritzker winning the third term.
I don't
I
either.
really don't. And if he does, it'll be disastrous for Illinois.
Eh,
40
yeah,
cent
I
gas
mean,
tax increase, 40-cent cigarette tax increase, uh, $1.50 tax increase on any delivery delivered to your house via food, via Amazon, FedEx,
right?
United States Postal Service, $1.50 extra delivery tax that the company is going to push on you that you will have to pay. Raising
Right.
property tax again because he didn't get his fair tax plan because the people voted against it. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
He raised gas tax and cigarette tax and $1.50 delivery tax. You want to know what for? You ready for this? You want to know what for?
What's it for? I know the answer, but what's it for?
You have a good evening too, Quick Shoes. Be
Hey,
safe out
quick shoes. Be safe out there.
there. To pay for the illegals medical care because Donald Trump kicked them all off.
And, yeah, they don't need to be on there.
No, they don't. You know, that's our tax dollars going to waste.
Yep, getting
You
thrown
know,
up and shot.
yep. But anywho, that brings us to a close, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gen X Unchained. I'm Dave. That's smoking. Thanks for joining us. Glad to see you all. Catch you on the flip side.
See you.
Let me, if I can.
Oh no.